Hey everybody, Brian Good here on this Thursday. A lot to talk about, so let's get right to it here. On the monitoring board, I've got the 3rd to the 4th. After our Groundhog Day storm, I kind of explained that setup. It looks light. I'll say that right off the bat. The 5th to the 7th looks light. In fact, could in some cases be a wintry mix, if not rain. So kind of a questionable period on that one. And Valentine's period could be a little more interesting. Remember, we had a big snow last year, Valentine's weekend. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time around, but it's ironic, I guess, in the sense that it's the same date period that we could have another significant low pressure moving through. So I will not get to that one today. I'm just going to tell you right now, too much to cover in the short term. And speaking of that, here is the boundary with clouds that have moved off to the east. We're enjoying some sunshine at the moment. Good southwest winds, really warming us up. We're almost 50 now. They see those clouds to the north. Yep, there's our cold front that's going to drop down as we head into this evening, and it's going to do a number on us on the temperature and give us some precipitation. Let me show you current temperature now. 50 in Bedford, 49 here. We will likely hit 50 within the hour. The Futurecast shows the southwest winds, but watch what happens. The front moves in this evening. Looks to be around sunset to our northern counties here in Louisville, mid-evening, and then late evening off to the south. As the winds shift around, we'll drop in temperature. We'll be above freezing, so the initial moisture that arrives will likely be rain showers or drizzle that moves through. Won't take long, though, for it to go to snow showers and flurries, but notice the main angle of the snow is across our northeast section, so this is the area that could see perhaps a dusting of the snow and little, if anything, probably just flurries here locally at that point, because we're going to dry out rapidly behind this front. This front doesn't have a whole lot to work with moisture-wise, but the temperature probably the bigger story. It's going to crash tonight and tomorrow. In fact, by tomorrow afternoon, another chilly day. We don't have a south wind just yet, so we're going to see temperatures in the upper 30s to a couple of lower 40s around both sides of the river. But then Friday night and early Saturday, we get a south wind, and we're going to see temperatures begin to rise when you wake up on Saturday, and that'll lead to a high very close to 60, many locations as we into Saturday afternoon, the pick of the weekend, the way it's looking now. Sunday will stay pretty warm throughout the overnight period, and this modeling goes to 11 a.m. Sunday, but even at 11 a.m. Sunday, we got temperatures in the mid-50s already, so we very well hit 60 again. But notice the clouds. It's our next little wave that is going to move in here as we head into Sunday night and Monday. So we'll start off Sunday, but by the afternoon, evening, we'll begin to cloud up. Here's the GFS. I'm going to start with that model first. That system on Sunday, as it clouds up, it'll bring a wave of rainfall moving through the area. This will be rainfall. Looks pretty light, but it is going further south on the recent model trends now. At first, it looked like northern areas, mainly for Indiana, we get the rain. Now it looks like we could get some showers all the way through the I-65 corridor, and this again will be why most of you are sleeping Sunday night into early Monday. The Euro model is a little more high resolution, so it can pick out the actual amounts and little pockets of moderate rain. Those pockets of moderate rain could be some thunder. Nothing severe, but could be some lightning and thunder with some of these showers that could wake you up early on Monday morning. Wouldn't rule it out. Now, as far as the system itself for Tuesday, Groundhog Day, here's the GFS for 1 o'clock in the afternoon Tuesday. We're windy, we're warm here in Louisville. In fact, most of the wave country, dry, windy, and warm through the lunch hour. It is forecasted low to be about a 990 low on the Euro and the GFS. And that is, the GFS has been consistent, but the Euro was really deep with the low yesterday and dramatic today. It's trending a little weaker, if you will, and closer to the GFS on pressure, about 990. So it's a potent low, but nothing like, off the chain or anything. It brings the lines of showers and thunderstorms through our area. Roughly, I would say, if I had to put a time on it, it's hard to do this early. If I had to be pushed against the wall here and try to give you a time, I would say it's probably going to be 7 o'clock in the evening through 2 a.m. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's the GFS right now. And then the sounding from the GFS, and I'll show you why this is. It shows the dry pocket. That's good. It gives you the potential for some, well, it's not good, but it gives us good indication, I should say it, bad words there, a good indication that we could see some of the dry winds, allow some of the damaged winds to could be realized to the surface. But notice what we call the LCL here. This is the condensation level. It's pretty high up, and it's not really low to the ground at all. When we see the LCL get real low to the ground, that's when we get a little more concerned about tornadoes that could develop. It's not overly high, and it's not overly low. And right now, the sounding estimate is just marginal severe as it passes through. The tornado index, in fact, is pretty low. There is some directional shear. the maps earlier looked like a little more potent on directional shear, but there is some. I mean, there's southeast wind at the surface and it goes southwest aloft. Yeah, there is definitely some turning of the wind, but more speed shear than anything. The wind speeds change as you go up from ground to the higher levels. So I think that's probably going to be more of an issue of straight line winds, the way it is looking on the GFS. On top of that, this is the GFS for the winds at the ground level. So very windy, even if there isn't any severe weather, which I think there will be warnings, but just even with rain moving through here, I mean, winds at times gusting over 40 miles per hour. So I think we're going to see a wind advisory come out for a good chunk of the area ahead of the storm for Tuesday on Groundhog Day. Dew point, by the way, the GFS has us close to 70 for a high. Dew points much higher, as we were expecting, closer to the 60-degree range up to the Ohio River as we head into Tuesday afternoon. It is showing some capes right now as far as instability that are showing across western Kentucky. It's not a whole lot to really be too concerned about, but there is just enough there that could be some ability for some of these stronger winds just above our heads to be tapped into on Tuesday, so that's something we'll watch carefully. Now, here's the European model. One thing I want to point out, I talked yesterday about the tilt of the system. Anytime you get a negative tilt, you have to worry about potential for tornadoes, where the line of thunderstorms leans backward like the backslash does on a keyboard. But today the trend is more toward a positive tilt. So this is also telling me that the signs are there more for straight line winds versus tornadoes as we head into Tuesday afternoon. This is Tuesday around 1 o'clock. Again, this is the high-res version of the Euro, and it really picks out individual lines. It's a good model from WeatherBell. If you get a chance, go to WeatherBell's site, WeatherBell Analytics, and they got a good site there. You got to sign up for it, but it really gives you a lot more information than I'm showing you here to really dissect some of the storms. I'm just giving you the highlights. But it shows multiple lines moving through in the afternoon hours into the evening time frame, and in most of the line east of 65 by 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So similar timing overall to the GFS, late afternoon, more likely a nighttime event of sunset through midnight, the way this is looking, which, we lose the heating of the day at that point. So that will have an effect on weakening some of the instability some, and that could be a saving grace there. So by the looks of this, multiple lines moving through, straight line winds, much more of a threat than tornadoes, heavy rain, windy all day long, and the wind gusts with these straight line winds could exceed 60 to 65 miles per hour. So that's nothing to sneeze at, all right? These are going to be some strong wind gusts potentially moving through, even if we don't get a whole lot of lightning with this. So that's something to keep in mind. But the tornado potential right now, by the looks of today's model runs, would be anything weak embedded tornadoes. Better chance, actually, for a few of these cells to become tornadic to the south. Within our area in wave country, it would be very weak vortices, if you will, little quick spin-ups. Can't rule that out. I don't see it being a tornado outbreak, though, at this point. Straight line winds look to rule. And here's the capes, or the instability on the Euro model. Again, not overly high, higher to the south. That's a better chance for a little more supercell action and tornadoes in that area. And this is the winds at the surface, and it's picking up. This is how high res the Euro is. It can pick up the high res winds within the squall lines, and it's putting it over 50 to almost 60 knot wind gust within these little squall lines, which would be severe criteria. And that shows up even across Indiana. So I do think we're going to have, there could be an enhanced, maybe a moderate risk, early thinking to the south, and I think there would be a slight risk up to the north, and maybe an enhanced or a marginal risk even further north. I don't really see this being a moderate risk scenario for us. Slight risk, I think, right now on today's data, and again, this could all change. This is still early in the storm. Right now, I'm thinking slight risk, maybe enhanced, potentially, if we get better values coming in on instability. This is the temperature profile on the Euro, and it's got its upper 60s. The record is 68 in Louisville, set back in 1903. That is in jeopardy, the way it's looking now for Groundhog Day. Interesting to note, though, behind the, I mentioned this yesterday, behind the GFS, it was really bringing in a lot of snow showers all the way down in the deep south, and I was saying that it's going to be more of an issue, that secondary front, the wraparound, cyclonic cloud deck that we always see that would give snow showers. Well, today the Euro is pushing that potential a little further south, so we could have some snow showers for the next day, Wednesday on the 3rd. Though the Euro is showing a little vort still coming in on the 4th, all by itself. The other models have lost it. The Euro is still holding on to a little wave that will pass through, maybe some light snow for Thursday. Again, these are light snow events, not snowstorms or winter storms. Now, down the road on the 7th, here's the GFS showing a wave coming through. It's got a mixture of rain and snow. Very disorganized. It shows an open wave scenario, not really an organized low pressure. The Canadian, different story. It's showing an organized low. This would be a winter storm, but the Canadian always teases us with that and takes it away. So take it with a grain of salt. There's your warning. And interesting enough, I just checked the Euro. That's why it's a different image. Image just came in. It is also showing a wave on the 7th, which may begin as a wintry mix, then go into snow. But that track looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? Again, February 7th. We'll see how it plays out. We'll worry about the other stuff at another time. Right now, we got to keep an eye on Groundhog Day. Have a good rest of the afternoon.